Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It is a very different world since we last saw each other or you guys watched a video. I hope that you're all staying safe and healthy at home, quarantining, doing everything you can. Unfortunately, a lot of the world's situation is out of our hands right now, but I am so happy to be at home with my puppies and Peter and making sure my folks are safe. I hope you're doing the same as well. And in the meantime, I promised to keep you a little entertained, and therefore here we are. By the way, if you're here in the future and everything is going great, yay, hi, welcome back. Today I decided to do something that you guys highly requested when again I asked you what you wanted to see while you were at home chilling, social distancing, and all of you pretty much unanimously said you wanted more bag collection series videos. And it's been a while, so I'm happy to be back here in the clubhouse to do another one for you today. And today's a special one. Today is Gucci. Did I spoil it? Like, did this give it away before I started talking? Gucci is one of the brands that I had a fond affinity for. I got my fashion habit a little too early on in life, so that was Gucci was definitely one of the first brands I became aware of, and they have another illustrious history. I have quite the collection over here that I'm excited to show you guys. But first, let's talk about Guccio Gucci. That's right, folks, Guccio Gucci. He worked in London and in Paris in hotels, and kind of the inception of the brand came when he noticed how much people were spending on their luggage, how beautifully crafted these pieces were, and he thought he could get into that business. So when he went back to his hometown of Florence, he started his first boutique after they opened a shop, I think in Milan and Rome. Gucci's stores featured finely crafted leather accessories like handbags and shoes, especially their ornamented loafers. They also did silks and knitwear in like this beautiful signature pattern. Became instantly recognizable thanks to the GG logo. Throughout the 50s and 60s, they kind of gained international acclaim because anyone that was anyone, yeah, were wearing Gucci. Unfortunately, when the 80s came around, a lot of family disputes started erupting over ownership of the brand. I'll spare you the details. There was a murder involved, possibly, so if you guys want to look into that, you can Google it. But let's fast forward to my personal favorite era of the brand, the Tom Ford era. I believe he became creative director, or at least partially, in 1990, and that was the start of not only an incredible sort of creative stint for the brand, but also business-wise. They started acquiring other brands like Yves Saint Laurent, Bottega Veneta, Stella McCartney, Balenciaga. Am I forgetting anybody? A lot of really great, wonderful brands. Tom Ford even started designing for YSL as well. What, like, iconic collections, especially his last ones. Then came Frida Giannini, which I often regarded as like my favorite Gucci designer for a long time, which I know is like a weird, unpopular opinion. All of the collections I saw from Gucci growing up, very bohemian, tons of gold hardware, very luscious and rich in jewel tones, came from her. Alessandro Michele, of course, took the helm of the house. I think that's how you say it. I mean, you could say Michelle, but I feel like that's wrong. Beautiful, super novel, whimsical, out there pieces, brought back a lot of life and color to Gucci. So that was my little cliff notes of Gucci's illustrious history, and without further ado, let's get cracking into the little wonders I've collected over the years. So I never really know what order to do this in, but because we were talking about Alessandro, why not crack into the bag that kind of made him famous before Marmont came out? There was, of course, the Dionysus. This is my Dionysus baby. This is my Dionysus baby. My mother actually was the first to acquire the bag in our family, and I stole it a ton, I wore it a ton. She had a little mini with that beautiful, well, of course, the classic Gucci canvas with those little pink blooms all over. I thought it was absolutely adorable, and I kept my eye out for a piece that I wanted to get for myself from, a new aspiring designer that I thought was really cool. And when I saw Beyonce wear this particular bag with the bamboo top handle and that lion sort of, I don't know what they call this exactly. You guys can put it in the comment box below if you know better than I. It was kind of reminiscent of those classic super popular Dionysus bags, the one that Rihanna wore with the sequins and the lips, you know what I'm talking about, but was a little bit more classic and different. I felt like this would become more of a staple in my collection. It's classic Gucci colors. I wear a ton of red, so this guy comes in handy. This is actually a great combination that I love wearing together. And yeah, it's just a beautiful to me, it's the beautiful classic Gucci bag that I will not part with ever. It just has so many signatures from the brand, and I love it so much. And next up, another bag from Alessandro's recent reign. This guy is also, I think it's considered a marmot matelassé maybe. I was obsessed with this pink sort of snake print. I thought it was so girly yet so edgy. I saw one of my favorite bloggers wearing not this exact bag, but the classic sort of Marmont version of it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So when this came across our Montreal store, I crushed on it immediately. It's kind of like a big disco bag a little bit. In the back there's a lot of really beautiful quilting, which kind of gets lost amongst all this cool snake work, but there's actually, as you can see, a little what do you call this? A little stitched Gucci logo in the back. It's super, super practical. Tons of space in here, which I love. Even little shoulder strap has a little snake detail, which is really nice. That gorgeous gold hardware as always, and that classic GG logo. As someone who wears pink all the time, I got a ton of wear out of this guy. Still love it so much. I love how muted the pink is. It's easy to style with a lot of different pieces. And though she hasn't come out recently that much, I don't plan on parting with her anytime soon. All right, let's switch it up and go back in time a little bit before we keep going into this Alessandro era, because a lot of my bags from Gucci are from like the early 2000s when I first fell in love with the brand. Now this little wonder is actually kind of like current. I could probably wear her out now. It's that classic, again, Gucci canvas logo in the black on black. As a girly girl, I of course fell for the hot pink Gucci racing stripe sort of look. Unfortunately, she obviously came out to the bars once or twice because she's got that silk in the back didn't maintain super well, unfortunately, but this is like a prized possession of mine. I love that classic also Gucci sort of bamboo chain. I consider this one of my most prized possession. First love's always your truest love. That's not a thing. Why do I keep saying that? Your first love never dies? I don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, love this guy. Another fun tiny bag I got from Gucci is this tiny little clutch with this big statement jewel. It's kind of a champagne silvery gold, so you can kind of wear it with any kind of hardware if you're not a big mixed metals person. And this was actually the bag I wore to my prom, my graduation. So soft spot for this one for obvious reasons. Tiny evening bag, not much to it. I mean, she's gorgeous. It's like a little jewel. Un petit bijou. Sticking to the tiny retro bags. I mean, if you didn't have a Gucci fanny pack, you wanted a Gucci fanny pack, am I right? I think they still make these same identical models in 2 sizes. This is the smaller one, of course. Classic Gucci red and green around the belt. You could tell how big it was because I feel like I used to wear them super low, like back in the day, you know? By the way, I pray to God that like nothing low-waisted ever comes back into fashion because like, I just can't handle that right now. There's too much going on already. But recently to a fun sort of 90s event we went to last summer for a bachelorette party, I went head to toe Gucci. I'll try to insert it here if I can find it. So yeah, this guy still definitely comes in handy. Also great theme park bag, unzips in the back. Okay, let's take a break from the vintages and continue on the fanny pack wavelength with the Gucci bum bag. This was a great purchase. I don't have any bad things to say about it. I got it when it was first released, so the price point was also better than it is now. They have it in the black, the white, the red, the pink. They made a bunch of colors since then. I really like the white. I feel like it lends itself to a lot of different looks. This, of course, would go wonderfully together. Again, I wear a ton of reds, so every time I see these kind of quintessential Gucci stripes, I love it because I find that I could pair it with a ton of things. Great for theme parking, great for every day, like a hands-free moment. I could wear it right now throughout this video, super useful. Now let's dip into a little bit more of a novelty piece. My Canadian flag Gucci sort of speedy bag. I'm not sure what this model is called, but it definitely resembles the shape of a speedy. I actually got this at the outlet store and I couldn't help it. It was a great price point. I thought it was so much fun that Gucci was representing my homeland a little bit. I loved that the Gucci canvas was navy with the white leather. I thought it was really pretty, especially with this big Canadian flag reppin' on the side. I wear this one every year on Canada Day. Great for hockey games. If I ever go to the Olympics, you know what I'm packing. It was just a really fun purchase. I do not regret it. Speaking of fun purchases, I do not regret. I'm not sure that'll be a popular opinion, but this bag I lost a lot of sleep over. That's right, folks, I got the Mickey Mouse head. When this was first released online, I was certain that it was gonna become a super limited, hard to get piece. So I ordered it right away to be shipped to our home. And let me tell you, the price point hurt when I saw it. I was just, at that time, I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just like, well, get your hands on it. The Gucci has a great return policy, so you can always bring it back. And when it came in, I just couldn't justify this 3D printed. Again, it's beautiful. It feels like a piece of art. Again, not something I would necessarily wear out of the house, and I'll get back to that later. But it felt definitely like a beautiful piece, but I could not justify the price point for it. It's also hand painted, which is really, really pretty. Anyways, fast forward, Peter goes to the Gucci store with it to return it for me because he's a very kind soul and he was picking up dinner anyways. And when he pulled this out of the bag, apparently the whole store got into a tizzy. Everyone was gawking at it saying, oh my God, why are you returning this? It is so hard to find, na 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 na. I wasn't answering his text, but he comes back home with the bag, with this bag still in the bag, and he's like, I couldn't return it. It just seemed like a big deal. You apparently should not return this bag. So I was like, oh, come on, Peter. I was still considering returning it, and it sat in its garment bag or its dust bag at the door for a long time. But I don't know, I just couldn't part with it after all. I thought it'd be a great, great, great piece for kind of our shelves. I just think it's so special and beautiful and kind of a fun piece of Disney Gucci history. Little did I know then what would be coming next. It sits downstairs on our kind of beautifully curated shelves that I really take a lot of pride in. And I actually took it to Disney once. I would not recommend it. it feels fragile to me. It's probably not, but I like to take great care of it. So it is kind of a fashion artifact in our home that I love staring at. And yeah, c'est mon petit chou. All right, while we're talking Mickey, let's just do the obvious, shall we? The Mickey bucket bag. I kid you not, when this collection first was released on the internet, like over 100 of you messaged me that day to be like, you have to get this. And guess what? It worked. The day it went into stores, my mother and I headed to our local Gucci store and kind of tried on everything. They had absolutely every piece. I had such a wonderful selection. The essay was so lovely. So I tried on all the clothes, looked at all the leather goods, and though I did kind of want them all, I know myself better than that. And I find that buying in excess, often you cherish your pieces less. If you get one piece from a collection that you love, you will definitely love on that bag a lot more. So this is the one I selected. It is the bucket bag. I just love that it was a big old Mickey center stage on that fun sort of vintage Gucci canvas logo. Also, bags this color I don't own a lot, so I was really happy to see that they took a really fun sort of 70s vintage take on their leather goods. I showed this to you guys in my most recent Disney haul. If you guys want to check it, like Disney style haul, it'll be here. And yeah, I do not regret this bag. It is great, again, to go to the Disney parks, which I hope will reopen one day soon so I could wear it again. I have a matching pair of sneakers and dress to wear with it too, so I did that. That was crazy. I'll put it here if you want to see it, but definitely a look to remember, and I look forward to getting tons more wear out of this bag in the future. All right, let's take another trip down memory lane, shall we, for 3 of the bags here. Very distinctive of the era, early 2000s. First up, this one. This is my second Gucci bag ever. Remember this? Like, this was the style, like the banana bag. And those pink touches always caught my attention. I love the gold bamboo detail. Such a moment in history. I mean, remember when we all wore our bags under our armpit? So perhaps it's not a classic, but I don't see myself parting with this guy anytime soon. I mean, things come back, right? You never know. Might reissue this. Then I'll be like, who'll be laughing then, you know? Next up, another bag from that same era, but this one I find a lot more timeless. This sort of Gucci boho bag. This bag kind of screams those Nicole Richie, Rachel Zoe years, everything bohemian and LA, and big oversized sunglasses, you know, the bigger the bag, closer to God. We all went through it. I wore this bag a ton and I still love it. Like, I think it's still a beautiful bag. I would definitely still take it out. I think it's just a classic monogram moment that will definitely never leave my collection. I wore it a ton. You could definitely tell it's got some damage, but that just means it was really, really well loved. Ugh. Brings back so many fond memories of traveling to Italy and just living my best life with low belts and boho skirts and, again, big glasses. Those were the years, guys. And now in the same sort of category, but a lot less well loved, we have this sort of boho Gucci bag. This was my favorite Frida Giannini collection. Everything was so bohemian and luscious, and a real folk element that I really was drawn to, with jewel tones, as I said, and I just wanted to get a bag from the collection. This is the bag I got, and I've worn it twice since 2007, maybe? 2008? 2009? Anyways, she's been around for a long time, but she hasn't seen the world enough. I wore it to a music festival once, which I thought would be the perfect fit, but unfortunately, she is probably the heaviest bag I own. This bag is gorgeous, by the way, probably one of the most finely crafted that I own. I love the suede touches with the leathers. There's definitely like an Americana sort of Western component to it that I'm really drawn to. I love the mustard color, but she is heavy, and you know, it's not every day that you're wearing this anymore. I mean, I love a fringe, but there's a time and place for it, you know what I mean? You guys remember this Gucci heart? I love the Gucci heart. Only 2 bags left to go. Oddly, they're really similar, yet I feel like very differently about both of them. Let's start with the one I don't feel as great about. So this Gucci Marmont bag was a total love at first sight impulse buy. I walked by it in a store window, had never seen it before, had never seen it on the runway, had never heard anyone talk about it, and I just thought it was gorgeous. I wanted to wear this with like a faux sort of brown fur coat. I like Gwyneth Paltrow in Royal Tenenbaum style. I could just see myself wearing this in all of these cool sort of quirky vintage ways. Later, I found out it also came in a beautiful red and green color. I only ever saw this sort of golden orange, which I still think is really pretty. I just don't really wear her, unfortunately. I never really did. It looks gorgeous up here in the clubhouse. It is definitely an exceptional piece. Also, the price point on it, because it's not leather, was actually pretty great, so I wasn't too shy to get kind of an impulse purchase that day. But just goes to show that impulse purchases don't always serve you well. Love looking at this guy, but definitely I'm hoping to take her out a little bit more. Guy, girl, is it a guy or a girl? I don't know, because it's missing some love, so let's try to style her out. And finally, I think that's all of them. I always forget something and then I'm like, damn it. Anyways, this is my last Gucci bag. It also happens to be my favorite Gucci bag. Have I said that about any of these yet? I don't think I have. Because I would have been lying, because this is my favorite Gucci bag. You probably have seen it before in other bag related videos on the channel, but here she is, my very favorite Gucci Marmont bag. I call it my Sailor Moon bag. I absolutely fell in love with this one. Similar to the other, but this was like a true sort of love. It wasn't just lust. This was a really, really hard bag to get a hold of. I saw it on a girl in Capri in Italy, and I was staring at this girl, and my mom was like, yo, like, you're being a little bit weird. And I'm like, did you see her bag? It was the exact same, but it was black rather than the red. And I just went to every Gucci store I could, just kept asking and asking about it. People often didn't even know what I was talking about. It kind of felt like a holy grail to me. And finally I found it online on Saks.com, I believe, because red was an exclusive for them. So they only ordered this bag in the red color. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I found it. When it finally shipped to our home, I wore it nonstop for 6 months. And I still pull her out once in a while. This is every color I wear, pretty much. I've said that often before, but red, pink, baby blue, like, I'm good to go. That's my repertoire. So this, surprisingly enough, went with a lot of what I wear on the daily. You always can get me with a little heart touch, a little pink touch, as you can see throughout the collection. So I still get so much joy just looking at this one. It's definitely one of my favorite bags that I own. So prized possession right here. And on that note, thus concludes my bag collection series part. Who knows? No, but guys, thank you so much for tuning in and for requesting these videos. As hard as they were for me to film at first, I really, really love to see how much you guys love to watch them, and that makes me love making them for you. So as always, please let me know in the comment box below which brand or luxury design house you'd like me to cover next. We're getting to the end. We're getting to the nitty-gritty of it, I believe. Also, if you like these videos, don't forget to give this one a big thumbs up. That's how I know that you're still enjoying them. And of course, subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when my next video comes out. It will be sooner rather than later because we're at home a lot recently. So guys, thank you so very much for watching, and have a lovely, safe, and healthy week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.